This game had such an interesting vibe to it.
I love this game. So
I remember everything about this game still.
I remember how many hits it takes to kill all of those zombies.
Like number-wise, specifically,
no, but like,
or
I just know how they work. And of course, we have a level we can't lose. We don't even have the shovel, so there's nothing we can do.
There's nothing we can do to lose.
Yep. I like how like simple everything works with the grid.
Yeah.
So that you can like figure out when everything is gonna die.
Yeah.
And it always matches up. Because if you know how the potato mine works, it's super
OP.
super helpful. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Because it's always 3 spaces away from where it is at normal speed.
Yeah, this game was something special.
I put so much time into this. Like, at like every house I went to, like I had this on my grandparents' computers because I put it on there. I had this at home, and I just played through it like all the way on each of them.
I remember. So EA or PopCap had its own little mini browser for computers, and you could play demos of games.
Okay.
And I would just play this demo of this game. I think I made my own plants. Like I drew my own.
Oh yeah, I did that too.
I don't know why, but it was just such a cool.
Fun. The my favorite levels are definitely the fog levels. I think.
The fog levels.
I love the fog because I don't like to use I'll play that without using the planters, and so it adds this whole extra layer of sound to the game because you have to listen to everything because you have to figure out what zombies are coming because you can't see them. And of course the roof. Amazing
roof
music.
Levels are
amazing music.
I had lots of Plants vs. Zombies music on my Spotify, like soundtracks from the game, because I just liked the music from it.
The if you buy the official soundtrack, they have the game sounds, but then they also have like the instrument, or like remastered, I guess, tracks.
Huh.
So you have like straight from the game, but then you also have like higher quality versions of the songs, which is really cool.
Like orchestral, like professional sounding stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds very similar, but it's not like exactly like the game because this is the 2009 compressed stuff. They also included some other like bonus tracks because there was originally a bonus track for Zombotany. It had its own song, but they took it out. And they also include like the Japanese version of Zombies on Your Lawn and stuff, which is fun.
Oh, the song.
The song at the end. I love the song.
I forgot about that.
Oh, so, wait, here, I'll help you.
Oh, thank you. I was so concerned that I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. No problem, buddy.
Thank you so much. I was just gonna say, what if this whole game was just a big misunderstanding and the zombies are trying to get to your house for some other reason?
They want Cheetos. They demand Cheetos.
They demand them.
Oh, goodness.
We need to
do reaction videos.
One of these days, we should try and get everyone together and watch them. I don't know how many of them would actually want to come if we told them we were watching our old videos again.
I don't think that would be hard.
Well,
I mean, there's the whole ordeal of actually getting everyone together in the first place.
Well, I was just going to say, that's like a celestial event in and of itself.
Yeah. Stars align.
We just have to not tell them that's what we were planning on doing. So we just tell them that we were planning on watching Bailey's films.
Oh gosh, I love
those.
I need to get the movie from Jonah like off of his thing because I love it so much.
I think they may have multiple copies.
Well, because he's the only person I know who has one.
Everyone else has probably long since burned their copy.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they are some of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
It's pretty on par with ours. Because they got like the...
I don't know.
Except they have JPEGs.
I was just going to say, they've reached a higher form than ours ever did. And, you know, I'm honestly thinking back to that time when we started filming. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to think that his videos were the reason...
that we did it.
Why I decided not to go the serious route. You know?
Yeah.
Because
those were...
Because I've said the same things about like drama performances that I've been a part of, and students in the class would be like, we should try putting on a serious performance.
Yeah.
And I just said, no, you don't want that. And I said, if something goes wrong during a funny performance,
It
you know,
doesn't
a
matter as
lighthearted,
much.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't stop everything.
Yeah.
And the crowd doesn't have to like hold in laughter. But if you're doing like a serious play
Yeah.
and something goes wrong on stage,
Oh, I like these things.
walnuts, then the whole production just sort of falls to pieces.
I was talking to my friends, some of my running friends, and oh wait, no, it was my coworkers, and they're like, but like, is work canceled today? Because it was like super cold. Because right now it's like 0 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And they're like, I think it is. And I'm like, and I got like confirmation from my manager, and I'm like, yes, it is. Crazy Dave told me. Crazy Dave told me. And I went on this big tangent randomly. I'm like, yeah, he's a great guy. He helped me get plants to defend myself from the zombies.
And I helped him get a taco.
yeah. I found his sauce that one time.
I found
He
his
lost his taco sauce, and I gave it to him, and it was a good time.
What a neighbor. I just think it's funny, like the posing of everything being like this suburban neighborhood right next to this janky old graveyard.
Yeah.
It's just a funny juxtaposition.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they're like walking across the street just to your house, not to anyone
Also,
else's
there are
house.
no cars to hit them.
That would be a funny alternate version of the game where
Yeah.
like you see what's going on the street and you realize so many more of them would be coming, but they keep getting run
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
They're not looking left and right.
That's why they don't include the street at all, is because they don't want to show that the zombies don't look left and right, because this is a kid's game.
It's incredible how much better the game is with mustaches.
Yep. Owie.
That was one of my favorite things to do. Use
Of
the
course,
cherry
we don't have
bombs.
money yet, so we can't implement that into our game
Ev-
plan.
Our permanent game.
Yay, shovel! How to do it. Oh, look. Greetings, neighbor. The name's Crazy Dave, but you can just call me Crazy Dave. Listen, I've got a surprise for you, but first I'll need you to clear your lawn. Use your shovel and dig up those plants. Let the digging commence. Ah, yes.
I remember that guy's voice.
Congratulations, you can click. Okay, goody. Now for the surprise. We're going bowling. Here, take this walnut. Why'd I put a walnut in your hand? Because I'm crazy! Now go, bowl me a winner.
This game was amazing. What is
I'm just gonna wait.
a character that you can... Okay, so hypothetically,
Mm-hmm.
if there were some sort of a magical school and any character, no real people, none of that lame stuff, fake fictional people, video game characters, movie characters, animated, live action characters that don't exist in real life, would make funny teachers who would like have to teach you something. And what class would they teach? What's the funniest one you can think of?
The funniest thing for like just random people to teach?
A specific character. And what class would they teach? Like,
But-
I picture Bane as like a gym teacher.
Oh, so they teach normal subjects.
Yeah, they teach.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
Or made up subjects. Could be made up subjects. But I just like to think of Bane just like, climb the rope, children.
Geez, I don't know.
There are so many funny combos.
I don't
Bugs
know.
Bunny for like for like psychology or something, because he would make you question reality all the time. All these fourth wall breaks and like gravity shifts.
I think it would be funny to see like Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob
Oh
teaching
my
like an
gosh.
econ class.
Yeah, he goes up to the whiteboard.
He'd be
and
like,
it's-
just get lots of money.
it's just all the word money just repeated over and over. Money, 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 money.
Yep.
That's the stuff. That's what I meant. That's what I just picture, and it'd just be funny with all their voices and everything.
This
What
becomes
happened
very
to
profitable.
PopCap exactly? What are they doing nowadays?
Well, they don't. I don't think they exist anymore. I think they
No?
just got bought out by EA, because I don't think they make anything anymore, which is really unfortunate because they made good games. And
They
then
did make
EA
good games.
happened. It's always EA.
Yeah, that was frustrating. I enjoyed the second game
I did
on
too.
the phone a lot.
Yeah.
Like when I really did enjoy it. But after I went through all the levels, I was like, all right, I'm done for now. Or
Yeah.
some of the levels were just really hard.
Yeah.
Like you have to use those
okay.
extra points and power-ups to actually beat the
That's
level.
one thing I hated so much. Big Wave Beach
Oh
is
my
the
gosh.
worst world by far. Like it was just
Mhm.
it was ridiculous. Hey, look, my type of zombie,
Pole vaulting.
the track zombies.
I did like the variety of plants in the second game.
I did too. It was really cool. Like one of my favorite parts was the future, and all the the super cool.
The cool neon superhero.
Yeah.
The citrus one.
The citron.
Where it
the
just
super powerful
charges up and then just absolutely obliterates everything.
Spudo. I never understood like the puns like that.
Spadow.
Yeah, Spadow.
Spadow.
That's probably why I thought it was Spudo.
Spadow. I think it's
It
supposed to be
makes
like
sense
I think
now.
it's supposed to be like kapow,
Yeah.
but instead it's
It's
spadow.
a potato.
It is a potato.
That's potato in French.
Really?
I think. Well, no, that's not. Tomato is like that. It's tomate.
Oh,
So tomate. But potato is pomme de terre, apple of the earth.
pomme de terre.
Pomme de terre.
But absolute favorite plant from the second game is definitely the cornipult.
Yeah.
That's my favorite because it not only does it does
wasn't
damage.
new, but
Right. It not only did damage, but it also
it
stopped
just
everything.
stops everything. In
Yeah,
place.
which is great.
That was a good one.
Some well-needed time.
Yeah. That scared the crap out of me as a kid.
The robot?
Zombotany. Like the mini game. I was like, this is so hard.
Oh.
Like just the difficulty. Like I didn't even bother. Like I mean, I eventually did beat it, but I was like scared to even try because I'm just like, it has a Gatling P.
When I first played this game, like the sound coming from the monitor was so loud
Really?
that like I was more scared to die because the yell would be so loud.
Oh yeah.
The no.
Yeah, I hated that so much.
Yeah, I did not like that when I was growing up.
I remember one of my friends, I let her play, or I showed her the game, and I'm like, hey, you gotta try this out. And she was like placing her sunflowers like out here,
What?
like in the middle. I'm just like, what are you doing?
See, that drives me. I also try to keep symmetry for the most part.
Yeah, I do.
If I alternate a row, then I alternate the other row the opposite way. I think it's cool how far indie games have come
Oh yeah, definitely.
because like they definitely got sort of ignored years back.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's definitely the age of the indie games now, which is really cool.
I like that because I mean, you know, think like Xbox for example. They were just cranking out games
Oh yeah,
for
definitely.
the 360, like Halo.
Mm-hmm.
That was on top for so long. And then, you know, people fell in love with Call of Duty and Modern Warfare
Mm-hmm.
and just like that's all people talked about. That's all they played.
Yep.
Was those two things. And I think it's so weird how people have sort of retreated back
Yeah.
from console. Like they haven't abandoned it, but I think they've seen the merit of computer like games again.
Yeah,
Because for a while, you know, go back to like PC, like CD-ROM games.
Mm-hmm.
Those growing up were a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Like,
no, they were.
they were time wasters, but they were so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there usually wasn't a story to it. They were usually very simple and kiddish.
Like Freddy Fish and stuff like that. Putt
Yeah,
putt.
there was just something charming about it. And then people fled to consoles once they became teenagers and they thought that, you know, they were old enough to play the shooters. And
Yeah.
then after years and years and years of shooters and, you know, story games, which are good, you know, no doubt. But after a while, I think just like indie games sort of crept back into the scene.
Yeah.
I honestly think Minecraft definitely helped with that.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Helped people-
Even though that was, I don't really think of it much as an indie game.
Well, not after they got bought out by Microsoft.
But yeah, certainly it was like
But,
this
like-
game from people in Sweden.
Yeah, from Notch, like how
And
far
now,
he
now
took
it's
it.
a game that 10% of people who have played video games have played.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
I really enjoyed that game. That was always a good. That kind of hit a cool middle zone where it was like you could play it by yourself,
Yeah,
but
or with friends.
you could also play where it was enhanced if you were, you know, with other people, but it wasn't unplayable by yourself.
Yeah,
And there was still a lot of
because
enjoyment.
I played it a ton.
You
just
played
on
it
my
a
own.
lot.
And It's funny because I had a very interesting experience with like playing Minecraft for the first 2 years I owned the game, and I can talk about that later. But like, it's so much fun to play with friends now because I only ever play it on my own, usually when a new update comes out to explore the new stuff.
Yeah.
But then other than that, it's always with another friend or someone else.
I remember my friend James, he got me a what he thought was a pirated version of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really just the free version of Minecraft.
Yeah.
And so it was funny when I found out, like, when I went to buy the actual game, like, a month later, I was like, there's a free version already? Like, why did he think he had to pirate this?
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that game was great. Okay, so we're talking about old games, so I'm getting all these nostalgia trips. So, Pop Tropica.
Ooh, I remember that.
Pop Tropica was...
That was cool.
It was basically what Nintendo, like the Wii was to gaming systems, where it just tricked you into exercise.
Yeah.
But Pop Tropica would trick you into learning.
Yeah, because it had like you're traveling through the different time periods and collecting things.
That game was fun.
That was fun.
Like for a younger kid though, it got pretty hard.
I like when these are next to something they can't eat, like a gargantua, and they're just like. But yeah, with Minecraft though, for like the first years I played it. Oh right, we have limited stuff now. I don't really need the cherry bomb. That's fine. My game was bugged for some reason when I played it, so I had no sound, and whenever I tried to adjust the sound setting, the game would just crash. So for like 2 years, I didn't play Minecraft with sound.
Yikes.
So I had no idea what it sounded like, but I was also terrified. I was at the age, because I was maybe like 10.
See, I
or
can't
9
even
when I
can't
played it.
even fathom
And-
Minecraft without the sound or the music.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's like one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. But
Shout out to C418.
yeah, C418.
C418. Yeah.
That's how it is. But I was also like, because I was so young when I first played it,
Yeah.
that I was like scared of the monsters.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't like scared of them, but I didn't want to die and like lose all my stuff because that was like the big fear I had when playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I always played on peaceful mode. So for years, I didn't know anything about what fighting the enemies was like. And there were certain things I just couldn't do because I didn't know they were there. Like I didn't know the stronghold existed for years, and it blew my mind when I figured out there was a boss in the game. Because I was like, wait, there's a dragon?
There's a dragon?
It was amazing. And the things like that, it's like you just never, it's like, wow. I don't know.
Yeah. Minecraft was the game for a while. So way back when,
And now it's on everything.
Roblox was my thing for...
See, I never played Roblox.
You missed that?
Yeah, I played
How?
I played Club Penguin.
Oh gosh.
So I played something else.
So Roblox, in its heyday, was probably like, I want to say 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Well, heyday, not meaning in its popularity or its refinement or the fact that they were selling like gift cards for Robux, which is funny.
Yeah.
But just the sheer simplicity of it originally, and the community originally was all tweens. Like it was all just
Yeah.
And the people who made levels or maps, the concept, did you know the concept of Roblox at all?
Not really.
So there is no story.
Mm-hmm.
There is no campaign. The entire thing is workshop.
Okay.
The whole thing.
See, I knew that much.
Every level, the only way you can play is to get onto somebody's level that they have made and play it.
Okay.
And there's lobbies of, hundreds of lobbies
Yeah.
for these games. And the popularity of like, so in Gmod they had the death run.
Yeah.
There was something called an obstacle course or an obby in Roblox years back that people played. Survive the Disasters was a favorite of mine. There was one called Red versus Blue versus Green versus Yellow, which was these 4 planes suspended in midair. and you get assigned to a color team, and you have bazookas, and like you can loosen the blocks' connectivity to one another, so the planes will just fall to pieces. They're like levitating in the air. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. There's also tower games. There were freaking like in-depth RPGs.
Wow.
Like level grindy RPGs where you would have to stay in an area and level up before you moved on to the next zone.
Wow.
There was some very complex stuff in Roblox for years.
Stuff that kids would make.
Oh yeah, and it was all just like user created.
That's really cool.
And so it was always really cool. And then of course they made like first person stuff. They did like a paintball game, which was a lot of fun. There was like a K.O.T.D.T thing.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that never really interested me was when they would try to mimic something
Other
that
games.
existed elsewhere. That wasn't my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Roblox was, I think, James, he also introduced me to that too.
Nice.
But Roblox was the thing for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
They had tycoons, where you just would stand by this little thing that would accrue money, and you step on the pad, and it would put it into your bank account in game, and you could purchase upgrades. It was essentially like Adventure Capitalist, where like you buy upgrades to your business, and it was weird. The Roblox was such a niche thing, and then Minecraft came into the picture, and became more popular. Oh, the double
repeater.
Those eyebrows.
I know. So we don't need sunflowers anymore. We're just gonna go with it now.
Bold strategy.
Yes. I don't really use repeaters because if I'm gonna spend that much money, I'm gonna use this.
Yeah.
And
the choppers are nice, but it takes them a while to.
And it's the levels aren't long enough to justify getting a full row, because like you can't get the sun if you want to have other stuff.
So I want to talk about this during the video. So
yes.
Obviously we're in Ohio, and back as a homeschooler, there weren't a lot of options for educational games for a kid living in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Where just the internet was very limited, and it was way more hazardous, I guess, and it just was. It wasn't
Older
safe,
internet.
and there wasn't a lot of resources, like educational stuff. And so there was a company called like the Ohio Educational Distributive Software Company, something long and kind of dumb as the title. And they made these CD-ROM educational games. And their website, first of all, is still running.
Really?
Number two, looks like it's still back in 2005.
Oh.
And they still have all their games up on there for you to get.
Really?
As like work? I think as CD-ROM games, not digital download, like as ROM games. And it's funny to me because I look back on those games, and I'll probably flash some pictures on screen when I'm editing this. But looking back on those games now, first of all, you'd probably play them by yourself in a basement. That was how I did it at my house.
Yeah. You'd
just be in the basement by yourself, lights off, playing on the huge computer by yourself these educational games.
Yeah.
The animation in those games,
I know what you're talking about,
is, and will forever be some of the most haunting, horrifying, and just straight up weird animation I've ever seen.
Definitely.
And just everything looks Alice in Wonderland-esque. Like everyone looks like a puppet in just the worst way possible. Even the robots. It's just the way that they moved. It wasn't like a full animation. It was like sort of skippy and choppy. And I remember this because I was thinking about FNAF, and some of the animation is very similar, and because that's what Scott did prior to making FNAF.
He made those weird
making those old CD-ROM games, and he got chastised for his animation, and that's when he came up with the idea for FNAF. But looking back on it, I was looking at these characters that when I was younger were just so normal to me, and it's so
uncanny.
It's creepy how I look back on them now and say, that's disturbing.
Yeah.
That's weird. And I don't know why that is, but when I was younger, it didn't even
occur to you.
It didn't connect. But I was like, this looks so weird.
Yeah.
Like, it just seemed normal at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I look back on them. There's this one game where I think you're on a farm. We didn't have this one, but it was on their website. You're on a farm, and you help these two twins do something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the cover art for it has these two, it's like an identical NPC copy.
Yeah.
They're sitting on a fence, face forwards. No hardly visible eyebrows.
Ooh.
Eyes all the way open, and they both have the creepiest smile on their face I've ever seen.
Fun.
And they're just like staring soulless forward.
Yep.
And as I was scrolling through their website full of games, I was like thinking to myself, who thought for a second that this is like for kids?
Yeah.
And it's so weird though, because when I was a kid, it didn't scare me. But now I look back on them and it's like
what is this?
Like, I don't know. That's a kind of a weird phenomenon where you look back on something that was normal and nostalgic.
Yeah.
But when you look back on it, you're looking back in horror. Like,
Yeah.
how?
Definitely.
How did I play those games without getting freaked out? Yeah, I think it's we're definitely living in a golden age of games because people have learned to harness the nostalgia. Just as an example, so one of my favorite games that has come out in recent past, even though I have never played it myself, is Baldi's Basics.
Yeah, I have actually played that.
I never played it because I don't play horror games, but it was that old nostalgia.
Yeah.
Where it was like
that old education
because
game feel.
It was weird because I found myself thinking this is low quality.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, no effort was put into this. But the more I started thinking about it, I was like, this is actually really beautiful what they've done, where they've turned this thing that looks like garbage on the outside.
Yeah.
And they kind of explain it in world.
Yeah.
Where there's some sort of a failed computer program that you're like an exercise or training thing.
Yeah. They're actually making a second game with Baldi.
Really?
Yeah, it's like Baldi's camping or something.
Baldi's
and like you go on a field trip. It's like just you and Baldi. And he's like, I'm gonna go set some bear traps or something, and it's so weird.
Really?
Also, like the way I love the music that plays when you're in the school.
Oh, the weird.
And it's like
the weird slide whistle.
And then you see him wave, and he's like, hi, and his like arm folds in on itself. And he's like, hi, welcome to my schoolhouse. And you're like, why am I here? I need my note booze.
I loved watching people play that game for the first time and not know what they were getting into. Because
well, it's funny because at the start of the game, they're like, this is not a game for children.
Yeah.
There's a disclaimer.
I think it's funny, too, how...
Yay, mail. Oh, that's it. I thought
we got mail.
The final wave, I didn't even notice it was... I'm just playing.
Hello. We are about to launch an all-out attack on your house. Sincerely. The zombies.
Yay. This is when it gets serious. We're defending the poltroon house.
But with those games, I think it's kind of funny how there's like a shared experience of those weird educational games where people were trying... So games were like a new thing. Like household games were coming onto the scene.
Yeah. And
so all these educational companies were getting on this and being like, you know what? We can make educational games. Which was smart, but of course that didn't last necessarily. I mean, you still see traces of that. I mean, even on the App Store, parents have like educational apps for their kids.
Those are weird.
But I think that was like the first instance of like a game being to learn something and it's being in your house. Yeah. Like on an Atari, there weren't learning games because it was a
video games.
Finite amount of code. Yeah. Like there wasn't much of a point. But then you got into things like Reader Rabbit. I don't know if you ever played those, but there was like...
Yeah, I vaguely remember
There's Reader Rabbit. That was like a huge one.
With all the animal characters?
Yeah. Yeah. What company made Baldi's Basics? Like what indie studio?
I have no idea. I think it was just some guy. Like just one person, I think.
Oh, well, good for him.
It was a small like individual project, I think. I could be wrong, though. Don't quote me on that.
Well, I just think it's cool that, you know, with things like multiplayer games on console that are just like shoot 'em ups where there's really no point besides being on a team and taking people down, or on the computer. Things like Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
There's no real. I'm not saying there's no real thought behind it. It sounds kind of heartless, but it's just sort of mindless.
Yeah.
Like, it takes skill to play, but I think it's cool that games. Again, you can't talk about this without bringing up FNAF, but a game that actively makes the person playing the game think about the lore themselves without spoon feeding it all to them.
That's true.
But making the story itself so interesting that people actually want to know.
Get to it. Yeah.
Like the box.
Oh gosh, the box. Yep. The infamous box.
That lit the internet on fire. Because everyone wanted to know what it was. Mm-hmm. I'll move to shows, things like Gravity Falls, where they set up these narratives where it is technically possible for the audience to piece things together on their own.
Yeah.
And so they actively try to do that. But, Alex Hirsch would give his fans the keys to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. Like, if you reverse the theme song of the Gravity Falls theme song, if you reverse it, it will tell you, if you reverse it, what code you need to decipher the codes in that episode.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So it sounds like the character is saying...
I didn't watch enough of it to actually get I've seen like some, like maybe 10 episodes, but I didn't see like the whole like overarching like story and all that.
If you rewind, I think it's the first season. It sounds like he's saying "I'm still here" or something like that. But if you reverse it, it says, I think, 2 letters back.
Wow.
Which is a Jeffersonian cipher wheel. So you click the letters back too, and it was genius.
That's really cool.
Which, of course, in the age of the internet and everything, and like Reddit, where people just devour lore and just decipher stuff. It's so cool when people actually put time into it.
Yeah.
Which I haven't mentioned this in a video yet, but we are going to be releasing a playthrough of Luigi's Mansion, the first game that I filmed with Avery and Jake.
That was summer when we finished it?
Probably.
When we thought we finished it.
But another game where there's enough lore given to you.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Where you can piece things together, but you actually want to know more about the characters, the ghosts in that house.
Yeah.
Like, Jake and I would just come up with our own ideas for the connections between these characters. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I always save them. And now we got a weird-looking fungus thing.
A weird-looking fungus thing. Well, I think that's gonna do it for this video. It was really just...
get to see what it is.
It was really just like a...
I accept.
Zombatar?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
We're making a zombie.
All right, what are we gonna call our zombie?
We can make Shrek.
Why is that the first thing you went to?
I don't know.
I said we can make a zombie, and you said we could make Shrek.
Let's not do that, actually. I don't think that's...
Hold on. Wait a second. Is that what I think it is?
What do you think that is?
Oh, when you see it.
I see it now. We need like Cheeto orange.
If we can find it.
The closest thing is that other one.
This one?
No, go left 2. That one. Some of it doesn't reflect in the zombie, unfortunately. But
some of it, not really. So no beard.
No, his eyebrows.
That's good. And then that.
No. We need to go. Let's go with the. Let's try that one.
Clothes. We making Steve Jobs? What would fit? Is there no tux, really?
Oh, that's weird. Well, I mean, there's like the business suit.
I guess that's close enough. Accessories. Of course. Let's see. That Oh, yes.
Oh wow, look at that. It's beautiful.
Uncanny.
We need a backdrop too.
Jonah would be so proud.
Thank you, Max. Very cool. He's on
Very
the roof.
cool.
He's
There's
on the roof.
here the fence because it's like a wall.
Yeah. We're
We're
the
totally.
zombies are gonna build a wall and they're gonna make the humans pay for
We're
it.
totally not making this look like anyone.
Nope. Oh sweet, now we got a JPEG.
Oh, perfect.
So now this guy will lead all the zombies into the fight.
I will make no
Oh,
comments.
wait. Before we do anything.
Oh yeah, the Bejeweled and the Chuzzle and the Peggle.
Gotta beat the record. Oh. It records how fast
China.
you do.
wait, go back down real quick. Wait, up. Is that Zuma?
Yeah, it's Zuma.
Zuma!
All the other games. I never played Zuma. I played...
Really?
No, I haven't, yeah.
Zuma...
I played... I'll list the ones I played. I haven't played Zuma.
Zuma is one of
That's
the
hype.
one of the most foreboding and stressful games.
I also haven't played this.
Peggle?
Oh, wait, no. Oh, no. Okay, never mind. I thought that was something
You've
else.
never played Dead Unicorn before?
Yes. No, I have played Peggle. I played Chuzzle.
Bejeweled.
I have played. And the weird...
Earthworm.
thing.
Bookworm, I think it's called.
Yeah, I haven't played that. I've gotten all the achievements.
Yeah, this game was something special. Thank you for
We
joining
also
me,
never-
Avery. This was a lot of fun.
We also never did like an intro or anything, but that's fine.
No, we just went right in. This was like an
this was
impromptu,
chill
more
play.
This was almost like a stream podcast type
Yeah.
scenario,
Yeah.
which was a lot of fun. Thank you all for watching. That Luigi's Mansion stuff
Is going to be coming out eventually this year.
sometime this year. Yes, that will happen, and I hope you will all watch
And
that.
You,
it's a
you
lot
get
of
to
fun.
edit that stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Thank you so much for watching, and we will talk to you guys next time we play games. Bye.
Bye.